for growth in the program? Does it start with on the court stuff or off the court stuff?
I think for me, it's on the court stuff. I feel fairly convinced that Fred Hoiberg is the best coach I've watched Nebraska have. The amount of times they have open looks and everything in every game, I think he can diagram and run an offense. Now, do they have the right personnel to run his offense? That's kind of the big question. And so for me, it's more on the court in terms of, are you getting the right people in the right spots? Do you have the right mixture to be successful in the Big Ten? Do you have the evaluation chops that you can see somebody and think that he's a shooter in one spot, but he can still be a shooter in the Big Ten? I also feel like they largely do a pretty good job of that. Like, I know that they're this past year taking a lot of heat for not having shooters, but nobody thought that Bryce Williams would be a guy that could lead the conference in scoring when he came out of Charlotte 2 years ago. No one thought that Juwan Gary could be this type of player when he came to Nebraska 3 years ago. I don't think people thought Rink Mask would be the central ingredient of a tournament run when he joined the team 2 years ago. So I think that Fred Hoiberg has an eye for talent too. I would much rather go through a season like this where, yeah, it's unfortunate Nebraska didn't make the NCAA tournament, but they're in the conversation. They're right there. I like where Nebraska basketball is at. I think people are really upset because you want that follow-up. And we saw how close it was last year, and Nebraska built a pretty good resume and then didn't finish the job. And I think it's good to have that anger, but I think it's misplaced if we're talking about moving on from Fred Hoiberg.